collector here with Kevin Eastman at the Playmate Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle booth. As you guys know, we're coming up on the 35th anniversary. 35th anniversary
Crazy.
of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm 36.
So we had it from H1 on.
I remember growing up with them. I remember the original cartoon, the original comics. That was a huge part of my childhood. And actually, recently, I acquired pretty much almost all of the original toys.
Wow.
I went and searched and purchased all those because I had them all as a kid. That's how much I loved the Turtles.
Well, thank you. That's not an easy task these days.
It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well.
So 35 years later, did you ever have imagined that the Turtles would be this?
You have to imagine there was two little geek kids, Peter Laird and myself, that grew up dreaming and hoping and thinking maybe one day if we're really lucky we'll get to draw comic books for a living. And when we met and we teamed up and we did that first issue together, we were hoping maybe we'll sell a couple hundred copies and then we'll have to go back to our regular jobs and our regular stuff that we needed to do to eat and pay rent. But this weird thing happened is it started selling and we were like, holy smokes, and then it started selling more. So for us, I always like to say that the dream really came through when we did issue 2 of the Turtles, was we sold enough copies that we could quit all those other jobs and just draw comic books full time. And it was always, every year we thought, well, it's going to be a great year, but next year we're going to go back to work, back to the real world, instead of this fantasy world of doing what we dreamed about as a kid. And here we are, 35 years later, still. I was drawing comics the day before Turtle comics before I got on the plane and came here to come hang out with you guys here at Playmate.
And they've changed a little bit from what you originally. For me, I was surprised at the newest iteration of the characters and the different size and the snapping turtle, the painted turtle, and stuff. Which version of the Turtles would you say is your favorite version of the Turtles?
Well, it's tough because that's been the blessing with the Turtles as characters. When you look at the original black and white comic books, they were edgier, grittier. I mean, even the early comic books, the Turtles were really beaky looking because we couldn't draw that well. We were still learning how to draw. And then, when they evolved into the animated Turtles, when we first worked with Playmates and Murakami Wolf on the toys and the cartoons, we did a lot of significant changes, like adding the different colored bandanas, which was actually Pete's idea, so you could differentiate them a little bit. And so there's always been a slight evolution in them in style through all the different years up into, say, the 2007 animated Turtles, which I really liked, the Kevin Monroe movie. The 2000 series was really a fun, edgy, older version of the Turtles. When Nickelodeon launched the 2012 series with the CG Turtles, people were like, oh my goodness, you ruined our childhood. Why are you doing a CG? It's turned out to be some of the hardcore fans' favorite series. So out of all of these, there's always something that is changed up a little bit, or we look for something that hasn't been done before. But if I had to point to one perfect version of the Turtles, I would go to the first Turtle movie.
The first Turtle movie.
Yeah, because it was like the perfect blend between the black and white Turtles comic books and the animated series. But out of all the series, even when we started developing Rise as a concept, we wanted to go, one of my favorite movies of all time is Big Trouble in Little China. And so I really wanted to explore this mysticism, this underworld, this whole other place where the Turtles could be more normal in their life instead of always, or interact with other mutants and other characters that sort of like walking the streets freely in this underworld. So that was sort of a big moment. I thought that something we'd never really done that in a series before. So this has been a really exciting series. I'm really excited to see where it's gone. I'm excited to see where we've done it already, and I'm excited to see where it's going.
I think for me, Secret of the Ooze was really like one of my favorite movies.
Awesome.
And I have a 50-pound African spur tortoise.
Oh my God.
And it's literally a tank, and I named it Tokar.
Fantastic. That is so awesome.
And one more question for you.
Sure.
Who's your favorite character out of villains, Turtles, everybody? Who's your favorite? Because I like Slash.
Ice Cream Kitty.
Ice Cream Kitty.
Ice Cream Kitty.
Ice Cream Kitty.
No. It's tough because, actually, I did the voice of Ice Cream Kitty in the 2012 series. There was this cat that ate ice cream with mutagen on it and became a cat made of ice cream. It's Michelangelo's pet. I don't know if you've seen it. I love Ice Cream Kitty. But no, it was, I think Casey Jones. If I had to pick one, because he was like, April was the first human character, But Casey was very personal when I did him, created him, and Peter and I created him as a concept for the story I wanted to tell with Raphael. But it's hard to choose, but I'd say if I had to choose one, Casey's one of my all-time favorites.
Awesome. So here we are, 35 years later. Thank you very much. As I said, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And Playmates booth, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman. Thank you guys.
35th.